don't want no partner.
Well, the dust has settled a good while ago. I guess it's time I updated that big-ass Saw video. Spiral from the Book of Saw, or just Spiral to avoid the mouthful, released in 2021 and serves as the second soft reboot of Saw in a row. This time helmed by Chris Rock, who was pretty heavily involved in its production. Rock plays Zeke, a cop working inside a corrupt police force who's faced with Jigsaw copycat killer that targets bad cops. To cut to the chase, it's not very good. To start with the most obvious, Chris Rock kinda sucks. He's a funny guy, and I think some of that gets twisted into what he's doing here. He's over the top and says strange things like this.
Fuck me? No. Fuck you.
In strange ways, while everyone just takes him seriously, except for the audience. He also stands out because everyone else is pretty good. Beyond that, the movie is a bit bland and by the books. The Saw movies are endearing for their slow descent into becoming completely unhinged, while this is largely a police procedural trying to take on some themes and be about stuff. Even in the most detached of the Saw movies, like 2, where the main plot is pretty detached from the trap plot, a good portion of the movie is dedicated to the horror stuff, where here it's barely a background element. We cut to the bad cops dying in sub 5-minute scenes and then cut back to the aftermath. There's no tension, it just feels obligatory. On top of that, they kind of lack the fun. They're not so over the top to be amusing, it's like, oh, this guy gets hit by a train. Maybe they're going for some realism, but then a different guy gets his fingies ripped off in Chinese finger traps in a bathtub filling with shocky water, so I don't know. With regards to the thematic stuff, it misses the mark. In case it wasn't blazingly apparent from my one-sentence description, this is the police brutality bad movie. And the character who says this is a serial killer, bad guy, the villain. It's not really a like situation to John Kramer, who saw suffering as a path to redemption. This is just kind of clunky. The movie also has a tough time fully grasping onto this. The villain, whose voice makes him extremely hard to take seriously as a side note.
Hello, Detective Banks. I'm here to help reform the Metro Police.
Espouses how different Zeke is from the other cops. Despite the action scene in the middle of the movie where Zeke enters a drug dealer's home without a warrant, chokeslams him through a table so his bone is sticking out of his leg, then starts smacking that wound with a bottle to get information. Sure, he didn't shoot anyone or institute some weirdly vague policy to legalize police brutality like Zeke's dad Samuel Jackson did, but it's a bit of a stretch to call him a good cop. The twist doesn't exactly save the movie either, that being that Zeke's new partner is Pigsaw or whatever the villain is called. Had they been inseparable during the movie, maybe this could have worked, but halfway through the partner dies off screen with no death scene, and all the pieces immediately come together. That a franchise that revels so deeply in gore would skimp on it here is ridiculous, especially when the movies have blatantly lied about their events before. I'm fairly certain the talks of a cut death scene were just lampshading for how horribly awkward it all is. As for other aspects, visually the movie is yellow. It's shot fine enough, but the color grading on display is shockingly bad, with the whole movie looking like the film stock was treated in pure unfiltered piss. This isn't exactly a Spiral unique issue. Bad color grading is a series staple for this franchise, but usually we have a nice blue or green that makes the movie feel grimy and dank rather than pissy. The theme song for the movie by 21 Savage is also I like 21 Savage, and the beat incorporating the series' most recurring theme is fun. But coming off the dour ending where Samuel Jackson is gunned down in a swatting right as the credits start is a hilarious juxtaposition.
Everything I do, I be 10 steps ahead. My youngin' got them bodies, he still pissing the bed, man.
Beyond that, I don't know what to say really. Despite the reference, it barely feels like a Saw movie, and this is almost every element of the series I enjoy. It's a miss on most levels, and it's kind of just uninteresting enough for me not to care that much about it.